Welcome to Gimbal Guru's complete setup to camera stabilizer enlightenment with the Zhiyun crane. Traditional camera stabilizers will always be heavy and quite bulky. Modern camera stabilizers like the Zhiyun crane are the direct opposite in all the right ways. The crane can be easily stowed in a backpack and with the press of the power button be ready to film by the time this sentence is finished. The crane has advanced encoders and a deep list of features that give a filmmaker the power to create a limitless range of professional camera movement. The crane is a single-handle camera stabilizer that weighs 2.8 pounds batteries. The batteries are changed by unscrewing the handle and inserting the batteries into the handle positive side up. A fully charged set of batteries will power the stabilizer for up to 6 hours. The crane comes with 2 sets of batteries, a 2-cell battery charger, which requires a not included USB power supply, and for a limited time, all Zhiyun cranes sold by Gimbal Guru include a dedicated charger and a wireless Bluetooth remote. The stabilizer can lift up to 2.7 pounds of camera or 1,200 grams of camera and lens, such as the Sony A7SII with 16-35. The gimbal of the crane is fully adjustable. To make adjustment requires no tools, and when needed, a lens support can be attached. And before balancing, remove the lower portion of the handle. Balancing the crane can take a bit of practice the first few tries, but don't give up. Since the crane uses encoders, balancing is no longer as critical as it once was before. As long as the setup doesn't place too much drag on an axis, the crane can offer an incredibly user-friendly experience. First, make sure your camera setup is ready. Any additional accessories will cause the center of gravity to change. Grab the camera screw and choose the appropriate track. Heavier cameras need to be mounted close to the tilt motor. Lighter cameras should be mounted further away from the tilt motor. For cameras like the A7S and A6300, we recommend the middle track to be the best. For the BMPCC, try the furthest track from the roll motor. We don't recommend fully tightening the camera screw until all axes have been adjusted. Once the camera is mounted to the stabilizer, the tilt axis will need to be adjusted. This is done by pushing the camera forward and backwards. The goal is to make sure the camera neither rises or falls. Sometimes the tilt and height of the camera need to be adjusted at the same time. To adjust the tilt height of the center of gravity, adjust the camera up or down. To test this, turn the camera sideways like shown. Roll is the next axis to adjust. Roll balance is adjusted by moving the arm in and out so the camera does not rise or fall. This can take sometimes tiny micro movements to adjust the roll to the right spot. The final axis to adjust is yaw. Simply hold the stabilizer sideways and watch the roll motor. Test the resistance of the roll motor by pushing it with your hand. The goal is to make sure the roll motor neither rises or falls. Now if you have a perfectly balanced stabilizer, you'll be able to port that camera any direction you need to, and it will neither rise nor fall, and that is perfectly balanced. That's the Gimbal Guru way. Once all axes have been adjusted, check and make sure each axis is snugly tightened, including the camera screw. You don't want to lose your camera. Let's balance the A6300 and a 16-35 lens from Sony. here we are balancing a Sony A7S II with a 16-35. Balancing an aperture DEC lens adapter with a Canon 18-55 lens. And now we're balancing the A7S II with a Photo-C adapter for a Canon FD 24mm lens. Balancing the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera with a pancake lens. crane's hardware is supported by 3 high-performance automotive encoders, which can sense degree intervals of 0.2 degrees, ensuring a level horizon, and 3 32-bit microcontrollers running in parallel at 4 kHz. This means the crane can respond to any change within 0.25 milliseconds with an accuracy of 99.9%. And currently, the crane is the only stabilizer with this much computing power and accuracy. You gotta love encoders. The crane is packed full of premium features such as a 5-way analog joystick, more than 360 degrees of rotation in all 3 axes, camera focus and shutter control available soon, and wireless connectivity through an app and Bluetooth remote. Crane's built-in joystick controls 3 different camera movement modes. The default mode is yaw follows, which means the tilt and roll are locked. The joystick will control the tilt angle. The next mode, by pressing the joystick once, will bring in lock mode. This means that all axes will be locked. That is roll, tilt, and yaw. The joystick will control tilt and yaw. The next mode, by tapping the joystick twice, will put it into follow mode. Now the camera will follow the movement of your hand, and the joystick will control the roll axis. To control the stabilizer wirelessly from a smartphone, go to the App Store and search for the Zhiyun Assistant. Once downloaded, make sure your phone's Bluetooth is turned on and the stabilizer. Once the app discovers the stabilizer, select it from the menu. After that, the app will switch to the next screen. The app will display options such as monitor, which will show the voltage and angle of each axis, control, which will show motor power, mode selection, and depending on mode selected, control over that axis movement by the sliders, and return the camera to the home position, calibration, and lastly, upgrade, which allows the user to update the firmware of the stabilizer. Connecting the wireless Bluetooth remote is easy. First, turn on the stabilizer. After that, turn on the remote and press in the FN button, also known as the function button. After that, your remote will pair by showing the solid blue light and the Bluetooth icon. And to send the camera to the home position by pressing the FN button. And also, you can swap between the remote and the smartphone app by pressing the switch. Once the remote is connected, it'll mirror the functions of the built-in joystick. From mode selection to angle adjustment, the remote can function up to 30 feet or 10 meters. The crane's kit comes with everything the stabilizer needs, from a protective hard case to 2 sets of batteries, and for a limited time, a dedicated quick charger and wireless Bluetooth remote. The crane's value and advanced features make it one of the best camera stabilizers under $1,000. Don't forget that every stabilizer sold by Gimbal Guru is backed by a 1-year, 100% customer and technical support. Our training gurus can be reached by email or phone for guidance. Gimbal Guru, helping the dreams of filmmakers come to life.